Flower Ninja Art. Anime always finds a way to create bizarre and fascinating lands, and the studio really went all out by introducing the land of vegetables. Not only did they drop this salad-themed nation out of nowhere, they cooked up an entire fighting style unique to it. It's this insane combo of beauty and brutality, deadly shinobi techniques that literally weaponize flowers. 1. Many blooming flowers. This one starts off like a dream sequence. The user surrounds the target in a field of gorgeous blossoms, like you just walked into a painting. Then, boom, the flowers explode into blazing flames, crashing into the enemy like fireworks. It's basically Conan's explosive tags, except swap out the paper for petals. Gorgeous, flashy, and still blowing you to pieces. 2. Many releasing flowers. Now we're getting more dangerous. The user spreads flowers across the battlefield, but these aren't just flowers. They're living bombs. Each blossom can detonate on command, chaining into a minefield of explosions. You thought you were taking a nice stroll through a meadow? Nah, welcome to the world's deadliest garden. The best part is the stealth. Those flowers can sit around looking harmless until it's too late. 3. Mirror flower water. This one takes things into genjutsu territory. The target gets swallowed up in a vortex of petals, and suddenly the entire space goes black. You're trapped inside a floral illusion, totally lost, unable to tell what's real. The flowers become the guide into the genjutsu, and honestly, it's both beautiful and horrifying. 4. Falling blossoms and scattering leaves. And finally, the sharpest bouquet you'll ever meet. Here, the flowers transform into razor-sharp shuriken, spinning in midair like steel blades. It's basically a rainstorm of weaponized petals, looks romantic, feels like getting shredded by a blender. Compared to normal shuriken, this one wins on sheer numbers and pure surprise factor. So yeah, the flower ninja arts are proof that beauty in Naruto can absolutely kill you. Exploding flowers, bombing flowers, illusion flowers, shuriken flowers. It's deadly, it's flashy, and it's one of those filler ideas that honestly deserved more love. For a second, 1 like equals 1 chakra orb for Hagoromo. 1 subscribe opens another timeline where Madara finally wins the war. So, what timeline are you choosing? If this video leveled up your ninja knowledge, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell like it's a summoning jutsu. We've got more god-tier breakdowns coming. Sharingan, Jugan, even Shibai Otsutsuki's divine powers. You don't want to miss that. And hey, comment your favorite Rinnegan user below. Let's see whose fanbase is strongest in the comments. Casualty puppet. Alright, so Studio Pierrot decided Orochimaru wasn't already creepy enough, and they gave us the Casualty puppet. And man, this jutsu is nightmare fuel. Basically, the user absorbs part of a freshly dead body and grafts it onto themselves, turning the corpse into an extension of their own body. Not only is that gross as hell, but it also lets them tap into the jutsu of whoever they just absorbed. Yeah, you die, and now your killer gets to cosplay as you. But of course, there's a price. The technique twists both the body and the mind of the user, driving them unstable. Now, when you compare it to canon stuff, this thing feels like Kakuzu's 5 masks technique. Kakuzu straight up steals hearts from his victims, sticks them into masks, and uses their chakra natures like Pokemon cards. Both are about stealing power from the dead. But Kakuzu's method is stable. Dude controls 5 hearts at once without going insane. Casualty puppet? Nah, that one's unstable as hell. 1 body, 1 power, and your sanity's hanging by a thread. It also lines up with the Chimera technique from Haruko, another cursed genjutsu. Chimera lets you absorb living bodies, fuse them into yourself, and even snatch kekkei genkai like Storm, Dark, Steel, or Swift Release. That's complex. That's surgical. Casualty puppet is more direct. Grab a corpse, slap it on, boom, new ability. Not elegant, but definitely raw. At the end of the day, Orochimaru was probably like, yeah, this is cool and all, but why mess with body scraps when I can just hijack an entire healthy body instead? Which honestly, big brain move. Curse Mandala. Now, another creepy old school jutsu you probably slept on, the Curse Mandala. This is an ancient, secretive technique passed down through only a handful of Fuma clan generations. And yeah, it's exactly as brutal as it sounds. Here's the deal. The user goes through a series of complex hand seals, and then they create a pyramid-shaped chakra cage around the victim. Once the user slowly brings their hands together, the cage contracts, gradually crushing anything trapped inside. This is prison-level horror, turning your target into prey with zero escape. Now for canon vibes. This thing screams a subtle nod to Dust Release by Onoki. Both manipulate 3D geometric shapes made of chakra, adjusting the size with the distance between their hands. But here's the kicker. Dust Release expands to wreak havoc on a wide area, basically a nuke. Curse Mandala is the exact opposite. Precision torture, squeezing down on a single unlucky target. If Dust Release is a cannon, Curse Mandala is a hydraulic press of doom. Imagine being locked in a transparent cage that slowly closes in on you, like a giant mousetrap. Meanwhile, the user just stands there, calmly bringing their hands together while you panic, trying to escape. Oh, and the stakes. To maintain the cage, the user must keep their hands in a triangle seal. One falter in willpower, or, if the opponent is too strong, the cage can collapse, triggering a massive energy explosion that obliterates the surroundings and even the user. The funny or horrifying part is that whoever's trapped at the center survives the blast. So yeah, mess it up and the jutsu eats you, not your target. Talk about a self-destruct feature with style. Crystal Release, this is when anime elegance meets murder. Crystal Release, or Shotan, only shows up in the anime, and it's Gurren's signature playground of chaos. Picture this, a battlefield sparkling like a kaleidoscope of deadly crystals, and yeah, it's as beautiful as it is lethal. Here's how it works. Gurren can turn pretty much anything, earth, wood, even living creatures, into vibrant pink, jade, red, or blue crystal. Well, this is weaponized aesthetic perfection. Compare it to canon stuff, like Ice Release from Haku. Both manipulate the environment to create weapons. But Ice Release, water and ice only. Crystal Release, anything that can crystallize will crystallize. We're talking total element domination. However, it can't crystallize raw chakra or energy, and if someone's smart or has high-frequency sound tech like Renji with bats, it can get shattered. Lightning Release 2, of course, is a natural counter. The insane part we have to mention is its versatility. You can make a crystal cage to trap an opponent, turn them into a living statue, or craft crystal-sharp weapons like shuriken. Want defense? Build a fortress out of crystal. Want to control the battlefield? Trap enemies by turning the ground beneath them into slippery, sharp crystal floors. Single-target assassination? Crystallize their cells in one punch, and they shatter into glittering pieces. Well, Hollywood death scene. Offsetting sound. This one comes from Menma. The blonde dude, rocking an ocarina, and when he starts playing, whole battlefield goes straight into WTF mode. Now here's the deal. Genjutsu in Naruto is already busted, right? But sound-based genjutsu is like hacking the system. Most illusions in Naruto need eye contact. Look at Itachi, look at Kurenai, or Sasuke with his Sharingan. But Menma just plays a couple notes and boom, you're trapped. No eye contact, no hand signs, just pure sound. And you know what? You literally can't block it. Throw up a wall, spam Earth Release, even hide behind Susanoo with Yada Mirror. Sound doesn't care. It slips right through, crawls into your ears, and sucker punches your brain. You could build a fortress, and Menma's still gonna solo your mental health with a flute solo. And it's not just about trapping people either. Offsetting sound is a whole support package. Menma can cancel other powerful genjutsu, like the ones Sheen and his entire clan were rocking. He can buff his allies' speed and strength, keep his squad mentally sharp, and if that's not wild enough, he can literally wipe people's memories. Imagine standing in the middle of a battlefield, blades clashing everywhere, and Menma's just vibing on the ocarina. Next thing you know, your entire squad forgets why they were even fighting. Man turned war into a lo-fi study session. Now yeah, it's still filler, so it has never been touched again. Tragic. And sure, offsetting sound ain't exactly a nuke move. It's more support-based. It doesn't do direct damage. Menma himself is still vulnerable, and Wind Release can counter it. But even with all that, this technique proves that sound genjutsu is absolutely terrifying and criminally underused in the series. Kurama Clan Kekkei Genkai. Alright, so we're all used to genjutsu being mind games, right? Like Itachi traps you in a genjutsu where the worst 3 seconds of hell feel like 72 hours. Or Kurenai tries to trick you with an illusion that gets insta-countered. That's cute. But the Kurama clan? They said, nah fam, let's make illusions that break your body in real life. This Kekkei Genkai is ridiculously rare. only showing up once every few generations, but when it does, it creates monsters. Yakumo Kurama is the poster child here. Her illusions were so powerful that if you got caught in one, your brain convinced your body the wounds were real. Burned, sliced, crushed, your body would literally manifest the damage until you died, all from something that technically didn't exist. That's not a normal genjutsu. That's a murder weapon. But like every Naruto power-up, there's a catch. The sheer weight of this power fractured Yakumo's psyche, giving her a dangerous alter ego she couldn't control. Untrained, a Kurama user isn't just deadly to enemies, they're a hazard to themselves and their allies. We're talking full-on monster transformation if they lose control. Now, comparing this to canon, Kurama Genjutsu puts most illusions to shame. It's not you see snakes, it's you feel your flesh melting off. And Yakumo went even crazier with it. At one point, she literally cast a genjutsu big enough to blanket the entirety of Konoha. That's right, village-wide illusion warfare. The only way to counter it is if you've got genjutsu of equal or greater caliber. And if you're an Aburame, congrats, your Kikaichu bugs are immune. Tiny chakra-eating cockroaches don't have nervous systems that can be tricked. So, as broken as this ability is, it has some niche counters. Yakumo's personal twist makes it even scarier. She could channel the illusions through her artwork. She'd paint something on a canvas, say a fire, a monster, or a storm. And then you would experience it in your body as if it were real. Genjutsu through art. It's like she's pulling horror movie scenes straight out of her sketchbook and making them kill you. Tactically, this kekkei genkai is the perfect assassination tool. No direct combat, no flashy signs of battle, just stand back, draw a picture, and your opponent keels over thinking their body's been torn apart. So yeah, if this power wasn't stuck in filler hell, the Kurama clan's genjutsu could sit comfortably next to the Sharingan's genjutsu in the franchise. Wooden Men Possession. Turnover manipulation technique. One of the strangest filler jutsu Naruto ever threw at us. The Wooden Men Possession turnover manipulation technique. This jutsu belongs to Jino Ryuden Seigo, and the man basically turns every fight into a cursed puppet show. Here's how it works. Jino summons these creepy wooden dolls, and instead of fighting himself, he makes his victims do the work. Two unlucky souls get caught up, their movements linked to the puppets like they're avatars in some budget VR game. They think they're swinging at their enemy, but in reality, they're just beating the life out of their own teammate. Jino doesn't have to throw a single punch, he just sits back, sipping tea, while his enemies accidentally self-destruct. It's like forcing people into a chess game where you don't even know if the piece in front of you is your best friend or your worst enemy. Now, there are ways out, but they're not easy. If the victims move fast enough, the wooden proxies can't keep up, and that breaks the control. Or, if the two fighters know each other really well, they might recognize one another through fighting styles or subtle nonverbal cues, like some ninja Morse code. But let's be real, if you don't have lightning-fast speed or some next-level teamwork synergy, you're basically screwed. You're gonna end up deleting your own squad before you even realize what's happening. Yeah, it's filler, sure, but it's also one of the most nightmare-inducing jutsu in the series. Now, if we compare this wild filler move to the main canon, it honestly feels like a twisted cousin of Sasori's puppet technique. Except instead of controlling lifeless puppets, Jino's pulling the strings on actual people. This makes the Wooden Men Possession technique less about flashy attacks and more about psychological warfare. Stick your opponents in a closed environment, cut them off from their squad, and suddenly, you've weaponized paranoia. They can't tell who's real, who's fake, and they end up shredding their own allies. And if you think about it, this could have been developed into a kind of physical genjutsu. Not the usual chakra-based illusions, but straight-up manipulation of the environment and situation to break teams apart. Unless you're someone built like Rock Lee or Might Guy, those taijutsu monsters who just blitz through everything, this jutsu could dismantle an entire squad. Ranmaru's Kekkei Genkai. Now, let's talk about one of the craziest anime-only power-ups that never made it to canon. Ranmaru's Kekkei Genkai. This kid from the Hidden Mist was sickly, frail, and basically bedridden his whole life. But when those eyes lit up glowing red, bro had a dojutsu that could straight-up rival, and in some ways outclass, the Byakugan, and even the Sharingan in some ways. This is what happens when filler goes off the rails, in the best way possible. Here's the breakdown. Both Ranmaru's eyes and the Byakugan let you see through obstacles and sense chakra from a distance. But the Byakugan is all about 360-degree vision and chakra network detection. Ranmaru with his dojutsu takes it further. He can hear and see events from an unknown range, detect the life force of enemies, not just chakra, and basically predict their next moves. He can even tell who's alive without needing chakra activity as proof. That's already crazy, but it gets better. Ranmaru can shut down Byakugan vision entirely, and even break genjutsu. That's a flex Hyuga could never pull. And when it comes to genjutsu, Sharingan users need eye contact to trap you. Ranmaru? Nah, he can manipulate from a distance. His tricks include spreading red mist that hides chakra signatures, or faking multiple chakra trails to throw even Byakugan users completely off. Tactically, he's a walking cheat code. He can eavesdrop from far away, gather intel, disguise himself from other dojutsu, and, get this, he can transfer his life force to heal dying allies. Literal revive button in ninja form. The only catch is that his body's fragile as hell. That's why pairing him with a brute like Raiga made perfect sense. Raiga did the smashing. Ranmaru played the mastermind in the shadows. Imagine playing a video game with unlimited cheats, invisible to Byakugan, can cancel Sharingan genjutsu, can heal teammates, and predict movements. If this dojutsu wasn't filler only, it could have stood shoulder to shoulder with the Sharingan and Byakugan as one of the big three of Naruto's eye powers. Yeah, I'm not talking about Rinnegan here. Mysterious Peacock Method. This is where Naruto filler decided to stop being subtle and just said, what if ninjas had chakra peacock feathers shooting out their backs? Welcome to Hoshigakure's signature move, the Mysterious Peacock Method. This thing is fueled by radiation from a meteorite that crashed in the Bear Country like 200 years ago. Yeah, cosmic ninjutsu. The technique creates a fan of chakra feathers behind the user, and those feathers can morph into literally anything. Beasts, ropes, even dragons. This is one of the most versatile jutsu in the entire series, and it looks gorgeous while killing you. But here's the catch. Training with this star chakra absolutely wrecks your body. We're talking long-term poisoning, your life force drained, maybe even death. Most users of the method, Hotarubi, for example, paid the ultimate price. Only Natsuhi was ever noted to escape the side effects. Now, if you want to compare it to canon, the closest flex is the Jinchuriki chakra mode. Naruto with Kurama, Killer Bee with Gyuki, you know the deal. A cloaked form powered by an external source of chakra that boosts everything. Speed, strength, regeneration. The difference is that Jinchuriki modes are way sturdier. Version 2 or full-tailed beast mode can literally terraform battlefields. Meanwhile, the Peacock method trades raw durability for insane creativity. You can fly short distances with chakra wings, sculpt energy ropes, beasts, or projectiles, and shift instantly between offense and defense. It's like the difference between a tank and a Swiss Army knife. And the sub-abilities? Absolute heat. We got Chakra Beast, manifest constructs strong enough to block weapons and crush enemies. Chakra Rope, unbreakable bindings that trap opponents. Good luck cutting your way out. Dragon, Akahoshi's favorite, blasting destructive chakra beams like a Jinchuriki shockwave. Chakra Predation, literally draining chakra from your comrades to amp yourself mid-fight. And let's not forget the ghost form, where users basically keep fighting as spectral chakra phantoms even after death. Tell me that's not nightmare fuel. Strategically, this is a filler jutsu that can do it all. Suppress enemies, zone with projectiles, hard counter mobility with ropes, even pseudo-flight. The only thing holding it back is the radiation poisoning that slowly eats you alive. If that drawback didn't exist, even Jinchuriki would have to respect a Hoshigakure ninja running this move. Mysterious Peacock Method is the perfect example of filler going all-out creative, beautiful, terrifying, and absolutely busted if it weren't suicidal. Fury. Now, this one's about one of the scariest kenjutsu the anime ever threw at us. So, here's the deal. This nightmare bomb was created by En no Gyoja and literally grafted onto the back of his granddaughter, Hotaru. It's basically a chakra warhead. One detonation and an entire village is dust. We're talking city-level destruction in a single blast. The thing is powered by the Tsuchigumo style. Forbidden Life technique release, which means it needs a disgustingly massive amount of chakra just to charge up. That's why Fury is less of a casual jutsu and more of a weapon of mass destruction hidden in the Naruto universe. Power-wise, it's sitting in the same league as Deidara's C3 clay bomb, the one meant to flatten a whole city. But here's the difference. Deidara's explosives, or even Conan's paper bomb nuke, can be dropped instantly in battle. Fury? Nah, you gotta babysit that thing while it charges up. And if someone with chakra absorption shows up, like Utakata with his tailed beast mode, you're done. The whole thing fizzles out. Strategically, Fury is insane. It's not meant for 1 versus 1s. It's a last resort all-in weapon, perfect for wiping out an enemy base or taking out an entire army. But you need a whole squad dedicated to protecting the user. Like, imagine having to bodyguard Hotaru while she's charging this thing. If anyone breaks through, if anyone with speed on Minato's level shows up, game over. And because this thing was literally stitched into Hotaru's back, she became a walking target for every opportunistic shinobi in the world. The technique was so dangerous that the third Hokage himself stepped in. He literally made a deal. We'll mark this as a forbidden jutsu and protect the Tsuchigumo clan. Just don't unleash this monster on the world. That's how terrifying Fury was. It forced the Hokage to make a peace treaty just to keep it under wraps. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.